Yeah. Let me take you to a place where the newer you have resided. Remove you from the flesh where the righteous always collided. I don't believe in culture, we steady being misguided to lead you back to a place where you only see us divided. I'm only here to tell you nothing but truth. I don't care about the good you do, I study your fruits. And I don't think I'm over you, but let me take this time to answer. Since I believe in God, I'm held to a higher standard. A soldier with holy manners in the spiritual army. We all need discernment, cause the evil spirit is charming. God with me when I step out. I don't care about what you care about. My faith got me flexing, I might just win me a sandout. Rebuke the strongholds, I pray you get released. Forget money, cars, and clothes. I need love, joy, and peace. Woke up with a new ID. Yes, I've been transformed, so the patterns of this world, I really can't be conformed. And I say,
I done had my ups and downs, but I can see we gaining ground. Yeah, things are looking better now. The world around me living fast, and I'm no longer like my past. Yeah, things are looking better now. I once was blind, but now I see. I thank you for my new ID, God, yeah. Things are looking better now. Don't wanna be the same, I can't be stuck if I ain't froze. I pray that I stay focused till I walk the streets of gold.
We all have a testimony, but the Bible let us know that you can plant the seed, but only God can make it grow. So you gotta reach a place where God say it's time to grow. So if you still lacking faith, who fault is that? You let me know. Self-control is what I pray for. Have you prayed for that? Nah, you ain't prayed for that, cause you ain't came for that. You go to God for only money, you won't stay for that. Somebody lukewarm, I just can't be the same as that. That's lame in fact. Lord have mercy, forgive me for sounding churchy. I just wanna break the link to the chain to whatever cursed me. I done had fam set up and killed for no good reason. We don't wrestle flesh and blood, they operated by demons. I don't play the same music, I don't watch the same movies. I ain't drinking, I ain't smoking, I'm not doing what y'all doing. And finding out my purpose became more than a blessing. And nothing here was by force, I just never found it impressive. Look,
I done had my ups and downs, but I can see we gaining ground. Yeah, things are looking better now. The world around me living fast, and I'm no longer like my past. Yeah, things are looking better now. I once was blind, but now I see. I thank you for my new ID, God, yeah. Things are looking better now. Don't wanna be the same, I can't be stuck if I ain't froze. I pray that I stay focused till I walk the streets of gold. Whoa.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. God bless each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday Eve. It is Thursday. One more day to the weekend. One more day to the weekend. Everybody wants to know what the song is today, huh? Yeah, that joint jamming. It's jamming. That's my guy, Call Him D. The name of the song is called Better Now. It's phenomenal. Like I said, I don't listen to, I guess what would be considered quote unquote mainstream rap music. I listen to faith-based rappers. If I am listening to music, I do spend a lot of time listening to podcasts and things of that nature. Sermons. I'm a big supporter of Andrew Womack, so I listen to a lot of him. But when I want some music, these are some of the directions that I go in. So there's a few faith-based artists out there that are really, really dope, can really spit. They really got bars, but the message is extremely positive. Yeah, so go check out Call Him D. The name of that track there is Better Now. He's got a few others that are really, really nice. I may showcase them in the very near future on the show. But I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning, man. I hope you guys are doing well. This morning. As always, I want to show some love to my folks in the chat. Shout out to all my blues. I appreciate you guys as you guys continue to trickle in and pull up this morning. Thank you guys very much for doing what you do on a day-to-day basis. And, shout out to all my ARP family members. I believe we're sitting over, I think it's like over 300 ARP family members. And I want to make sure that I'm correct on that. I want to make sure I quote that properly. Give me 1 second here. But I appreciate each and every one of you all that support the channel and support me and support what we're doing on this side of things. When you are a follower of Christ, when you are, a conservative, a lot of times, folks, hey, they don't want to listen to us, and we may not get the push, by the powers that be. But because of people that support this channel financially, it gives us the ability to do what we do. So right now we're sitting at a total of 357 ARP family members. And that number has gone up tremendously over the past 30 days or so. And it's phenomenal and it's a blessing. And I don't take it for granted at all. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that support what we're doing over here on a month-to-month basis. It's awesome. It really is. It really is. I talk to my grandma about you guys, and I tell her all the time, I'm like extremely humbled and extremely humble, that you guys pull up and hang out with me and support what we're doing over here, because a lot of times, when you get into this and we're looking at what's going on politically, we're looking at what's going on trending, but we like to tie things back to the word. And if you notice the guests that we have on, they do the same. For the most part, we want to tie things back to the word. And we like to look at things through that lens, through a biblical lens. And, it can be challenging from time to time, right? And there's a bunch of haters out there, but we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about that. You guys seen the thumbnail. You've seen the title today. So today's show is going to be interesting. I do want to let it be known today is going to be a call-in show today. So I am going to give folks an opportunity to call in and reach out if you have any questions. You want to talk about anything that we discussed today or anything that we've discussed this week. I'd love to hear from you if you are willing to pull up and not afraid, because I know some folks, y'all camera shy, y'all got everything to say in the chat, but won't pull up. And I understand it, and that's okay. If you hadn't hit that like button already, please make sure you hit that like button for me. Please do so. And for those of you guys that are going to start talking trash, I'm not ashamed to wear my Ravens hat today. I know we got pushed around by the Lions on Monday. Hands down, one of the worst games that I've seen, from a Ravens defense. I can't remember a time, when a Ravens defense got punched in the face and pushed around like that. But we're going to bounce back. We got the Chiefs this weekend. And we're going to bounce back. So just let it be known that, hey, we were down, but we're not out. We'll be right back. Okay. Shout out to Lori Otteson, always coming through early. And y'all make sure y'all follow her instructions and hit that like button on the way in. Shout out to Kevin Caldwell. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Marla? How's it going this morning? Shout out to Marcy Richards. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, JJ O'Hara? Y'all let her know. She asked, is there anything that she can pray for anyone for today? Y'all make sure y'all let her know. What's up, Hadassah? How you doing this morning, sister? Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Angela Montgomery? How you doing this morning? Good to see you in the chat. Who else we got up in here? Papa Dodd in the building. Thank you very much. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Shout out to, is it Chisaxi? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Oh, Shisaxi. I got it now. Shisaxi. Got you. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. What's up, Kiwan Lynette? How you doing this morning? A-Town in the building. Shout out to my guy, Hunter. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. As always, he comes through with the Bible verse to get things kicked off. And today's Bible verse is out of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 through 10. It says, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. Thank you very much, Hunter. I appreciate that, brother. Always. Donald Lovejoy in the building. Shout out to you. Colorado in the house. Shout out. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Zephyr K9? How you doing? What's up, Deborah Carver? Happy Thursday to you as well. Grace and peace. What's up, Midnight Rider Gary out of Cali? Appreciate you pulling up. Grace and peace to you. What's up, Nelly? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you. Mama Sunflower's Cottage, little house in the Dale. That's a long name, but shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Grace and peace to you this morning. What up, Sugar Shane? Hey, Sugar Shane, I'm still waiting to hear what these scores were on Friday. What did you shoot on Friday? I know you were out. You dipped out on us on Friday to go play some golf. I want to hear what the scores. I didn't see the scores from yesterday, from Friday. Let me know. What's up, Jose Ramirez? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What's up, Shelby Dodd, Christy Knight, or Krista Knight? Sorry about that. Dione. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. We got Ryan Stegall in the building from Georgia. Billy W. C. Bergie. What's up? What's up, Melissa out of Honolulu? Appreciate you pulling up. BWR out of Mississippi. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Glenna B. Grant, Alabama in the building. Lower Alabama. Okay. Auburn in the building. Okay, I see you. What's up, Amber Young? We got C. Cook in the building, Salt Lake City. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got Storm Zai. Appreciate you pulling up out of South Africa. Okay, I see you. I see you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got, is it Turkey? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Patty Hutchison, thank you very much for pulling up this morning. Nina Edwards Swain out of Indiana in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Marcia Min Garcia. Hopefully I pronounced that right. What's up, B? How you doing this morning? Timothy Rickner. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Leslie Aaron? What's going on, Miss Katz? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. I hope you got the information. Add the track and check out Colin D, man. He's fire. He's got bars. Bars. What's up, Alan Bennett? How's it going? Cool Ramon in the building. Defense Rest. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Voices for the Voiceless. What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What up, Quincy James? Mr. Largy. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Gigi Katz? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. What up, Yuck 2.0? What's going on with you? And what's going on, Deborah Etta? Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Or Eddie. Not sure. Thank you very much. But you can't handle the truth out of Arkansas. Thank you very much. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All righty. We're going to get things kicked off as always. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. But the best way to support the channel is to definitely hit that like button. If you watch the videos all the way through, that is the best way. If you are watching the replay today, let me know in the chat or let me know in the comment section that, hey, I missed the live, but I'm here checking out the daggone replay. I appreciate you guys that do come back and watch the replay. Shout out to you all. I thank you guys very much for supporting what we're doing over here. God bless each and every one of you guys, man. I thank you guys very much. So we're going to get things kicked off, man. Like I said, hit the like button. That is the best way to support the channel. And before we get started, I just want to let it be known that today's show is brought to you and brought for us by our sponsor. Hold up. Really? Oh, there we go. By our sponsor, Chapter. Y'all go check out Chapter. Give them a call, 504-506-0860. If you know anyone that is either on Medicare or someone that is going to be on Medicare, reach out to them. They can help you navigate this process and make sure that you're getting into the proper plan. The people that own and run this organization, they got into this because their parents got beat by an organization out there that steered them into a plan that didn't make sense for their parents, but it made sense for their pockets. This organization does not do that. They have been known to save the average senior citizen $1,000 a year in health insurance benefits. Make sure you reach out to them today, 504-506-0860. Go check out Chapter. And I got to say this, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It is free. The service is free. Reach out to them today, 504-506-0860. All right, let's get ready to get the show started. Hit the like button for me if you have not done so already. Hit the like button. And without further ado, we're going to get the show started. All right.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. This is not the 1930s.
Secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. These Gestapo like tactics.
This is Gestapo-like behavior.
Donald Trump's modern day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland, it does look like a Gestapo operation.
You posted on social media that, quote, ICE is acting like a terrorist force.
ICE agents, they are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people on the streets of the United States.
But this terror campaign of having masked people rolling up in vans, but we also have to talk about the agents themselves that are carrying this out. If you have any decency, quit now. Because just doing what you were told has been the justification for some of the worst horrors and crimes against humanity.
Masked agents of the state in unmarked vehicles are terrorizing communities. They are disappearing people.
One has to assume they're hiding something, or they're hiding misbehavior, because otherwise, why would they be wearing masks and denying their identities?
If everything is legitimate and proper, why are you wearing masks to hide your face?
Not look like America. We are going to require them to show their faces. If you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't have anything to hide.
All righty, so I want to start with the rhetoric that has poisoned our politics for years. I want to start there. ICE agents smeared as Gestapo secret police kidnappers. I mean, you've heard it, on cable panels and from politicians who know better that type of framing, it matters. It doesn't just attack policy. It dehumanizes the people enforcing the laws Congress itself has passed. And when words turn into moral permission, unstable individuals take it as a green light. Now let's talk about Dallas. We broke in yesterday and we discussed a little bit around what happened yesterday in Dallas, Texas. At an ICE facility, was attacked yesterday. A gunman opened fire on a van near the site. He killed a detainee. He injured a few others before he decided to take his own life. The FBI is calling it targeted violence, noting a bomb threat was there just weeks ago. And shell casings marked with anti-ICE messages. The van was unmarked, meaning the shooter didn't even know who was inside, and he didn't know if anybody was inside. That's the cost of fanaticism. Innocent people pay the price. Senator Ted Cruz put it plainly. This has to stop. It is outrageous. That's why I wanted to start things off with the opening clip, because these people, they are ridiculous, and they are the cause of this madness with their rhetoric.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the third shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop. To every politician demanding that ICE agents be doxxed and calling for people to go after their families, stop. This has very real consequences. Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis.
Yeah, I'm with Ted Cruz. How many of you guys are with Ted Cruz on this? That, hey, this got to stop. Ted Cruz, in my opinion, is absolutely right. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw a political assassination in Utah, and now another attack, this time on an ICE facility in Texas. I mean, that makes 3 times ICE or CBP sites have been hit in the same state. That's not random. That's a pattern right there. And the shooter's mindset, it couldn't be clearer. He literally engraved anti-ice on his ammo. I mean, this is what happens when voices on the left call ICE agents Nazis or secret police or the Gestapo. This is what happens. I mean, you say it long enough, someone will believe it and act on it. The reality of it is this. If you tell a lie long enough, the people telling the lie actually start to believe the lie. And then the lie actually becomes truth to them, even though it's a lie. So many people don't understand that. And the thing is that they've told this lie so long that I'm convinced that they actually believe what they're saying is true. And then they've told the lie so long that you have people out there that listen to it and they believe that it's true, because there are so many people out there that still believe that you can trust all of your politicians, that you can trust mainstream media. They still believe that if it comes from mainstream media, it must be the truth because CNN said it, or someone on MSDNC said it, or someone from these one of these woke newspaper outlets said it. It has to be true. It has to be true if it came from them. And here's the kicker. If this attacker, had worn a MAGA hat, I mean, it would be wall to wall coverage on CNN. Y'all know it. But because he was driven by anti-ICE rhetoric, the story barely registers. Suddenly it's all, let's not jump to conclusions. The double standard is glaring with these people. The double standard is glaring with these people, and they have zero shame.
Can't just assume by that what was written on that shell casing that that's necessarily his motivation. He could have been doing that to thinking it was funny, trying to put law enforcement on the wrong track. This is where when you analyze the person's phone, computer, talk to his family and friends, that you get an idea of what his motivation perhaps really was.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear this guy? I gotta play this one more time. This was MSDNC.
You can't just assume by that what was written on that shell casing that that's necessarily his motivation.
You can't just assume what was written on the shell casing. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
You can't just assume by that what was written on that shell casing that that's necessarily his motivation. He could have been doing that to thinking it was funny, trying to put law enforcement on the wrong track. This is where when you analyze the person's phone, computer, talk to his family and friends, that you get an idea of what his motivation perhaps really was.
Oh man, dude, the audience of MSDNC, they must be some of the lowest IQ individuals out there if they listen to this and believe it. Seriously. I mean, they really assume that these people have zero ability to think critically. It's hey, if you didn't hear it and someone told you that this dude said that, you would be like, oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Violence is violence, no matter who commits it. And it should be condemned by everyone. Debate immigration in Congress. I'm okay with that. Debate immigration in Congress. I think all of us are okay with that, but not through attacks on men and women tasked with enforcing the law. Yet pundits who compare ICE to the Gestapo act shocked when the rhetoric turns into violence. And when the evidence points to anti-ICE motives, suddenly, oh, it's just too neat, a cop planted it, or we just don't really know, we don't really know the motive. We don't really know the motive. I mean, that's not journalism, ladies and gentlemen. That is not what you would call journalism. That right there is what you would call flat out denial. Or in some cases, it could just be a cover up. This isn't a one off either. Immigration facilities have been under repeated threat. And federal investigators say that they're treating it as targeted violence. And here's what gets lost. ICE officers don't make the law. They enforce them. ICE officers do not make the law. They simply enforce the law. If you think the law is unjust, fight it at the ballot box, not with bullets and bombs. I mean, how difficult is that? And let's be real. Writing political slogans on weapons isn't just extremism, it's performance. Violence is theater. The left insists only right-wingers do this, but recent events prove otherwise. Still, their reflex is always the same. Blame the right, no matter what the evidence shows. No matter what the evidence shows, it wasn't us. We didn't do that.
This is getting to be truly terrifying because the White House is already blaming Democrats on the shooting that occurred at the ICE facility where 3 immigrants were shot and 2 were killed in Texas. Now, obviously, we don't know one way or the other what this person's political leanings were. I have to say that based on the last few of these where it's been a person who's done something that seemed to be possibly politically motivated, the kinds of people who go out and do these things are not really political in the same sense that you and I are. Like, I don't think that you can say, oh, he was a Democrat. I did find his mother on Facebook. She appears to be a Democrat herself, but he does not have a Facebook that I could find. I did find his LinkedIn, but it just said that he worked at Domino's and Target and a few other places, including most recently a solar panel company.
Okay, so the casings with anti-ICE messages aren't political. Okay. Let's see what else these people are saying. Goodness gracious, man. The copium is just the way they cover, man. It's unbelievable, man. It really is.
Up to another cop. Really quick, write something anti-ICE on the bullet casings. Okay, anti-ICE. They think we're so dumb. Some super cop in Dallas is going to get out to his press conference and he's going to do his trans Antifa tap dance because nobody cares about the truth anymore. When detainees at an ICE facility were shot. Detainees were shot by an anti-ICE person. My hunch is that they're MAGA. They watch Fox News all day. They think that these are cat-eating, asylum criminals, and they wanted to go shoot some fish in a barrel before they off themselves. That's what happened. But the cops have to go out there and do their trans Antifa tap dance, blame everything on the trans Antifa anti-ICE, and some idiot cop couldn't think of an anti-ICE slogan or a thought or belief or a saying, so he just wrote anti-ICE real quick with a Sharpie on this bullet. So dumb. We are not this dumb. I promise you're not this dumb. I promise you're not this dumb.
But 2 detainees were shot. How could this be anti-ICE? I mean, simple. The van was unmarked and transport schedules are routine. A fanatic could easily assume it carried officers. That's what blind hatred looks like. It's reckless, it's immoral, and it's stupid. And dismissing the anti-ICE graffiti as just too convenient, that's what you would call gaslighting, ladies and gentlemen. If it had said build the wall, no one would question it at all. But here's the bigger issue. Outrage versus permission. Outrage says, I hate this policy. Permission says the people enforcing it are monsters. The far left's anti-ICE rhetoric crosses that line constantly. They dehumanize agents until violence feels justified. Combine that with activist circles already flirting with by any means necessary, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Meanwhile, conservatives get blasted for calling someone a socialist or a radical. That's debate, not dehumanization. I mean, the left excuses their side's violence as frustration. That's not outrage, it's permission. And the bottom line is this: pray for the victims, respect investigators, and stop spinning conspiracy theories, please. If the FBI says it's anti-ICE intent, face it. Want different laws? Elect new lawmakers, but don't vilify the officers. Now, they're upset about these guys wearing masks, but every time I see an ICE agent, they got a vest with ICE in yellow letters that you can see from a mile away. So, yeah, elect new lawmakers if you want different laws. But let's not vilify the people that are there to just uphold the law. And media outlets, they have to stop platforming Nazi analogies. They got to. They aren't commentary. They're just permission slips for violence. I mean, it is outrageous that mainstream media isn't being held to a extremely high standard. It is outrageous to me. I want to read a couple super chats real fast, and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel this morning. Shout out to Gerard Coswell with the $5 super chat. He says, I will not be seized with alarm and struck with fear, for it is my Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom. Luke chapter 12, verse 32. Good morning. Love y'all. Appreciate you, Gerard. Thank you very much. And he gifts 1 ARP family membership. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you supporting the channel this morning. Shout out to my guy Malachi with the $2 super chat. Says, great song. Greetings from Calhoun, Georgia. Shout out to you. Shout out to BJ Sal 916 joining the ARP family. Shout out to you. Is that a Puerto Rico flag? Puerto Rican flag. Okay, I see you. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. Says, sorry, Wise, I stick with Kieran the Light. Kieran the Light is dope. I like Kieran. I listen to him. There's a few out there that I like. Kieran's one of them. I like Bizzle. I like Colin D. There's a few others out there. If you want to list, shoot me a message. I'll send it to you. There's a few out there that I really like that I'm like, okay, these guys are right. Shout out to C. Cook with the $5 super chat. Says, would you take a moment to explain the meaning of all the badges, etc., for those of us that are new? Yeah, so the badges are simply, it just describes if you are a member and how long you have been a member. Each badge lets us know if you've been a member for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, so forth and so on. So that's really what the badges are about. It just shows how long you've been a member of the channel. Appreciate you, C. Cook. Thank you very much. Shout out to Lori Rapier. Hopefully I pronounced that right. With the $10 super chat. Says, we support Trump and a follower of Christ. Thank you very much. Thank you. And C. Cook says, how do you become a member? If one of the mods could walk C. Cook through how to join the ARP family, that would be great. But if you look at the channel, you should see a join button there. And then there's 3 options that you could choose from in a way to join the ARP family. And it will tell you, what the 3 options are and what benefits you have, within those options. So take a look at that. Thank you very much, C. Cook. Appreciate you, brother. And shout out to Big Moine AZ gifting 5 ARP family memberships. Thank you very much, brother. If you receive one of those memberships, please make sure you show Big Moine AZ some love. Thank him for gifting a membership, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Oh, man, this guy says badges are like sobriety chips. Good Lord. Yes, you're absolutely right. Y'all are a trip, man. Y'all are a trip. Goodness gracious. All right, so let's keep things going. So I want to shift gears to another story that's been making waves, one that ties directly into the dangerous rhetoric that we've been discussing already on the show today. So this is a story about blame, about division, and about a war that's been brewing for years. A war not just on our values, but on our faith. And I'm talking about Hillary Clinton's latest media tour, where she decided to point the finger at white Christian men, blaming them for the violence and damage plaguing our nation. Check this out.
We haven't gotten to the more perfect union, and we fought a civil war over part of it. And people have been protesting, for hundreds of years that, things were not as they should be, given our ideals and how we should be moving toward them. So I think that's what makes us so special as a country. And the idea that you could turn the clock back and try to recreate a world that never was, dominated by, let's say it, white men of a certain persuasion, a certain religion, a certain point of view, a certain ideology, is just doing such damage to what we should be aiming for. And we were on the path toward that. I mean, imperfectly, lots of, bumps along the way, but I agree with you, we were on the right trajectory.
Let me.
So let me get this straight. The real threat to America isn't fentanyl pouring over our border. That's not the real threat. It's not China buying up our land, especially around military bases. That's not the real threat. Rising crime across the country. That's not the real threat. Or the wave of left-wing violence we see almost weekly. That's not the real threat to our country. No. According to Hillary Clinton, the real threat is straight white Christian men, or better yet, real Christian men in general. That's the threat. But here's the truth. Here's the truth that she doesn't want you to hear. We're just getting started. Hillary isn't just attacking policies or politics. She's scapegoating a faith, a community, and a demographic that refuses to bow and bend the knee to the left's agenda. And if you're a Black, Asian, or Hispanic Christian, you should be offended as well, because in Hillary's eyes, you don't even count. She doesn't see you as a threat. She assumes your faith is weak, that you're Christian in name only. That's the insult beneath her words. But I'm here to tell you that real men of God are rising up. Fathers, husbands, leaders, they're rising up, ready to take their rightful place in their homes, in their communities. And we're not standing down. The left can smear, mock, and demonize all they want, but we know the truth. Their war isn't with us, it's with Christ himself. This isn't just about Hillary. It's about the cultural war to marginalize Christianity, to paint believers as enemies of progress, from the media to Hollywood to classrooms, and now straight from the mouths of politicians. Christianity is the one faith it's still acceptable to hate in our country. They call it tolerance, but it's hypocrisy. They demand Trump lower the temperature while they crank the fire against the church. But remember this promise: no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord.
To stop demonizing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I think most of that right now in our country's history is coming, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. Writing out slavery from history, That doesn't make it go away. You know, we have got to stop with the finger pointing and the scapegoating.
Yeah. They excuse us of what they're, or they accuse us of what they're guilty of. They accuse us of what they're guilty of. The data doesn't lie. Left-wing violence is climbing, from the assassination of Charlie Kirk to ICE facilities under attack, but instead of facing their own record, the left points the finger at Christians, at white men. It's the same tired pattern. Blame us for their chaos. They whine about rhetoric while their rhetoric fuels violence. They warn about extremism while their side burns cities and justifies assassinations. And now Hillary Clinton's latest comments to try to shift blame onto Christians, as if faith and family are the root of America's problems. It's not, to be honest with you. We need more faith and we need more families, and it will solve a lot of the issues that we have in our country. Everybody sees through it. We're not buying it. We see through the lies, the hypocrisy, the gaslighting. Christianity isn't the problem. It's the solution. I got to say it again. Christianity is not the problem. It is the solution. The further we've gotten away, the further we've moved away from the word of God and the principles, the worse off this nation has become. The further we have moved away from the word of God, the further we have moved away from a life built on biblical principles, a nation built on biblical principles, the worse our country has become. It can't even be refuted at this point. White men aren't the enemy. They're fathers, they're sons, they're brothers, they're builders of a nation, of this nation. The real threat is leftist agenda that wants to erase God, rewrite history, and brand faith as dangerous. But here's the truth. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. We're going in the wrong direction right now. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've removed God out of everything. Listening to her comments, I'm not going to lie to you, it upset me. But it also challenged, it was really a challenge, because they can come out and they can speak on white men, but they don't want strong men at all. If you are a man who is a leader, who is also a servant, who is also a follower of Christ, you are a threat to everything that they want to do in our nation. You're a threat to them. You know what she really wanted to say? It's Christian men that are the problem. But you can't get out there and say a Christian black man or a Christian Hispanic man. You can't get out there and say it because she'd be canceled. White men are easy targets. You can say whatever you want to say about a Christian white man in this nation, and you're going to be fine. No one's going to bat an eye. Even the white man up on that panel didn't say a word to her. There was no pushback. The only person that looked like she didn't jive with what she said was the one white woman up there with her arms crossed looking at her like, lady, what are you talking about? Body language says a lot. A lot of times you don't necessarily have to listen to what a person says. Just look at them while you're saying something stupid. It will, the body language will tell you more. It is past time for men to step up. This experiment you know, with these reckless women out here talking crazy and these effeminate men out here showing themselves as weak, letting a whole bunch of foolishness happen. It is time for that to come to an end. It's time. We experienced what that looked like. We just had a previous administration that was full of these people. It was a failed experiment. But the challenge is, to my men out there, is that you can't go and build a community. You can't go and build a county, city, state, or country until you get your household in order. So you got to start at home. You have to be the leader of your home first. Then you can start working outside. There are too many people that want to be leaders, but they're not right at home. You got kids all over the place. Your wife, she isn't in her proper position. And then you want to go out, you want to step outside of your house and act like you're a leader. No, you got to get right at home first. And once you're there, then we can discuss what's the next steps from there. But until you get that right, I don't want to hear anybody talking about I'm a leader or I'm trying to lead a movement anywhere. Get your house in order first. Then we can make the steps outwards. There are too many dudes out there talking about they're leading a movement and their home is in shambles. That can't be. I appreciate you guys pulling up today. I'm going to open it up. What's up, Playboy Billy? I'm going to open it up. I'm going to drop the link down here in the chat for anybody that would like to pull up. If you want to discuss anything that we talked about today or anything that we've discussed over the week, over this past week, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Give me 1 second here. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys moving in the chat. You guys are phenomenal. I don't know where we are with the likes, but make sure we got these likes up. Okay, I see it right now. We got 506 people in here. We should have over 500 likes at this point. Please hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. One second here. Okay. All right. So pin into the top. If there's anybody that would like to pull up this morning, I'd love to hear from you guys, man. Please use the link up there. You can jump on it on your phone, or if you're at home on your computer, please go ahead and pull up for me today. Short show today, but by design, because I wanted to open it up to give people an opportunity to call in today if that is something that you would like to do. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. But this upsets me, man. It upsets me for a multitude of reasons. It upsets me for a multitude of reasons, man, because these people, they see us as weak. And shout out to Gator Aaron joining the ARP family, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you supporting the channel and supporting what we're doing over here. Thank you very much, Gator Aaron. Alrighty. Shout out to Hunter with the $20 super chat. Says, we Christians are not the problem. We are the nicest religious group in the country compared to the secularists or even Muslims. In the famous words of Billy Graham, Jesus is not a white man's religion, but everyone's religion. I agree with you there. I think a lot of the problem is, and Hunter, I'm going to agree with you. I agree, but I'm also going to disagree. My issue with a lot of Christians is that we put our heads in the sand, and we have not showcased ourselves as strong individuals for quite some time. We have come across as entirely too weak, especially the men. There are so many people that thought that all they had to do was go to church, pay a tithe, give an offering, and that is it. And no, that's not enough. That is not enough. So a lot of the issues that we have right now is because of Christians, because we have come across as entirely too weak, too passive, too willing to let anything go. And look at where it's gotten us. So I appreciate you, Hunter, but I'm going to disagree slightly disagree. Let me pull up Rolando Velez. What's going on, brother? How you doing this morning, man? Appreciate you pulling up. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
All right. I commented a while back, man, that you need to come on down to Florida. I don't know why you messing around there in Maryland, man, with those high taxes, cold weather. I know the crab cakes are good and everything, but they ain't that damn
They are.
good.
No, they're not. And the taxes are crazy right now. You are right about that. The taxes up here are insane.
If I got to go through suffrage to get a crab cake, then I'm going to go ahead and pass on that. That's going to be a hard pass for me. But no, I wanted to talk about Hillary Clinton, man. This is to be expected, basically, at this point. I just think she's a little bitter, basically, because she lost the male Christian vote.
Mm-hmm.
And in this country, you can't win anything without the male Christian vote.
Facts.
And basically, she doesn't have a chance on ever running again, any type of campaign. So what you're seeing now, man, is just a bitter woman, on TV, just letting it rip. Because somebody who had presidential aspirations for the future is not going to talk like that.
True.
As you can see from old Gavin Newsom over in California, how he's slowly changing his rhetoric, even though he's kind of been sliding back into it lately, but for the most part, he's trying to center himself, for his presidential run. So
yeah, but we're not going to let him do that. We're not going to let him do that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen either. But I'm just saying, that's what you're seeing basically from Hillary Clinton, man. Just bitterness,
I would agree with that.
I don't know what you think about it. What you think?
I definitely agree with that. And she definitely comes across as bitter. I was one of those people that basically said that there is no way that lady is getting my vote back when she ran. Excuse me. There was no way. I'm like, this lady is on record calling people that look like you and I super predators. There's no way I'm supporting this lady. Absolutely no way. I didn't care what she had to say. I didn't care.
She goes to super predator, human garbage, everything else that they say. But dude, this is not about ideology. This is about saving the country.
Absolutely.
We're $36 trillion in debt, and literally, dude, if you think about Kamala in the White House, to everybody listening, that should have terrified you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, dude, she knows nothing about economics. Okay, her border was literally wide open. They don't understand anything about anything. And it's really disturbing that they even have a following. Because anybody with common sense looks at this party and just says, dude, what do you believe in? Outside of your basic ideology, of men and women's sports and, all that other nonsense. But when it really comes down, dude, to the bones of it, what do you believe in? Because at the end of the day, I'm a businessman, and under the 4 years, dude, of Biden, my business, I almost went out of business. Now it's starting to pick back up and things like that. But for the most part, my business was non-existent.
Well, that's by design, though, right? I mean, if we think about the Democrats, and what they wanted to do, they did. If you think about it, they tried to fast track our way fast track the nation's way to bankrupting the nation, which would put us on track to the real agenda. I mean, I know they kicked and screamed about Agenda 2025, but the real agenda is Agenda 2030, with the that one world government, you'll own nothing and be happy type situation. And we were headed in that direction. If we would have received another 4 years of Democratic rule, that's exactly where we would have been with our borders open, and fundamentally, our nation would be fundamentally changed forever.
Yeah, and another thing that people need to understand, that it was literally a turning point. It was literally a crisis. Because I don't think people understand what happens if the U.S. dollar collapsed. You know, I mean, literally, they don't understand that there's going to be bread lines everywhere. Okay, there's going to be crime going to soar through the roof. Police departments aren't going to be paid. Public services aren't going to be paid. And in a country, dude, where I don't know if this statistic is correct, you can correct me, but there's 100 guns per person in this country.
Yeah.
You throw that into the mix, of people starving and panicking, dude, that is a recipe for just literal disaster.
Oh, it'd be the purge.
And I don't think people understand that. And the ones I feel need to know this the most is women. Women need to really understand this, because they are the most vulnerable amongst us. They can't defend themselves, and when you get it to a society like that, only the strongest men will dominate.
Yeah.
And this is what I saw coming if Trump didn't get in there. Because another 4 years of open borders, another 4 years of men and women's sports and this and that, and keep running up the deficit. You see now they're trying to do the budget, what they're trying to stick in there.
Yeah.
All the stuff that Kamala would have pushed if she got
she would have pushed had she got in there. Yeah, they want to push the gender affirming care. They want that to be paid, and they want illegal immigrants to continue, to receive healthcare benefits, which is, going to add in another $1.5 trillion to the deficit. When they complain about the bill that was passed initially and said that it was going to increase the deficit, but they're threatening to shut the government down if they can't get their $1.5 trillion, in. It's ridiculous, man. And the thing is that the average American has no idea what is going on. It upset me the other day, because I was in a location, and, the individual speaking was talking about Trump, and they were talking about how they're, trying to cut healthcare. And right then and there, as soon as I hear that, my spidey senses go up, because I start, based off the way a person talks, and the things that they say out of their mouth, you can almost tell where they receive their information, right? You let them talk, they will tell on them. So they don't have to tell you, hey, I watch CNN a lot, or I watch MSDNC. Just listen to them talk, and they'll tell you where they receive their information. So they're going down this whole diatribe, and we got to do something about that. I don't want the healthcare cut because my mother's a senior. And I'm like, if you go and look at the bill, it's not going to cut anything from an American citizen that is in need, whether you're disabled or a senior citizen. It cuts the illegal immigrants out of it, and they shouldn't be receiving it in the first place. But if you don't know any better, you just listening to mainstream media, giving you false propaganda and information, and then you turn around and you want to share it and tell it to somebody like you know what you're talking about. It's ridiculous.
And I know a large part of your audience is Black. I'm Puerto Rican myself, so I just wanted to address this quick thing before I jumped off, which is I need people of color to really take a hard look at this party, okay? Because it was a while back that you said a statistic that I really found interesting, which was the amount of abortions going on in the Black community. Okay, I think you said something like 20 million. And I was talking to my brother about this because he's a hardcore lefty, and I just told him this. I said, look, if you look at the Black community, dude, at least through the last 30 or 40 years, the time I've been alive, I said, literally, they're going through a genocide in this country, okay? Because what's going on is if you have this high level of abortion going on before they even set foot on this planet, and then on the other end, you have literal mass murder going on the other end, I mean, it's only going to end one way. And you
Yeah.
know, when you really look at the statistics, the black population has been stagnant for close to 30
Yep.
years now. You
Yep.
know,
No
their
increase.
percentage, yeah, their percentage margin hasn't gone up. And that's what happens right before it starts to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because the people who are having their kids killed, their next generation killed, are not of reproducing age, the women. The men can reproduce into the 70s and 80s, but what's happening to them? They're getting incarcerated. You ain't getting nobody pregnant sitting in prison somewhere.
Sitting in prison.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna disagree with
So
you slightly on the incarceration rates. If you look at the stats dating back to 2000, I just looked this up. Incarceration rates are actually down when it comes to the black community. So when I hear all these people, they're talking about all the black folks, especially black men are in jail. Those numbers are actually, believe it or not, they're actually coming down, and we're almost at a rate to where there are more black men going to college and joining the military than actually being incarcerated. But
and you know what,
we,
Wise? I'm glad to be proved wrong. I'm glad to be proved wrong on that. You know, I
yeah,
take
so
what
some
you're
positive
saying.
things are happening, but the thing is that what we know is that positivity breeds positivity, right? So if they actually start, have you ever noticed they always speak about the negative, when it comes to black people in the black community, right? They'll tell you all the negative stats. They never really discuss the positive stats because what we know is that positivity breeds positivity. And if you start giving people positive information, good information, it multiplies. No different than the negative information. It multiplies as well, just in a negative way. So when you start to look at the fact that, and that's why I always want to discuss, we have to improve the family. Or that's the only way. And across the board, and I'm gonna say this not just for the black community or the Hispanic community, but across the board. Our marriage rates across the board in America are as low as it's ever been in the history of our nation. And our out of wedlock births are as high as it's ever been in the history of our nation. Those are direct correlations to the rising crime rates and rising poverty rates because we've never been able to make it out here by ourselves. It has always taken a family to make it. That has always been the case, right? And a lot of people, they clown, maybe the Mexican population that comes over here and you'll see them, they might go live, family 10, 15 deep in a house, but they're building and they're the fastest growing population in the country because they believe in group economics and they're building together with their family. You know what I'm saying? And we're so separated and segregated amongst each other. How do you build like that? How do you grow? The next time you talk to your brother, I want you to ask him, how many people need to die in order for you to consider it a genocide? That's where I go with it all the time. How many people? And I just let them give me an answer. Is it 100,000? Is it a million?
That was exactly my point, because if you look at the crime stats, the murder stats coming out of Chicago, for example, and this is an example I made to him. Now, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. This is just speculation on my end, but let me tell you my theory here. Okay, 1 year you literally had close to 1,000 murders in a year, which is averaging close to 3 a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then the next year it went down by 100 and kept kind of falling by 100. You listen to Chicago politicians, they say crime rate's going down. But what I told my brother is, just because I'm a cynic, I said the crime rate ain't going down. They're running out of people to kill. Okay? Because you have to remember, all this is confined to a small area.
Yeah.
Okay? There ain't nobody killing on the good side of Chicago, on the ritzy side of Chicago. Everything's going on the south side, on the west side. Okay? Well, these are small populations, and most people do their dirt where they live.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I just think, yeah, the murder rate's going down because the population's going down. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I agree with you on that. I hadn't thought about it in that way, but it makes complete sense. The other thing that I want to add to that is the populations are dwindling in these cities because it's so bad. People are saying, you know what, I just can't live here. So they're moving. In Baltimore City, and I can speak to it here in Baltimore City. Baltimore City, once upon a time, had 1 million people in the city that lived in the city. And the mayor is saying the same thing. Crime's been going down. Crime's been going down. But the reason why crime is going down is because people are fleeing the city. Right now in Baltimore City, they have a little under 600,000. I think the last time we heard it was like 594,000 people live in Baltimore City now. Yeah, crime's going to go down because y'all lost 400,000 people. They're not there anymore. They decided that we can't, it's too unsafe to live here.
True. And if you don't have residents, you don't have revenue, and if you don't have revenue, then here comes decay, directly after that. Be
Absolutely.
it in the form of your population or your city itself. So,
bro, it's so bad in Baltimore that they're trying to incentivize people to move back. Listen, hear me now. If you live in the state of Maryland and you're willing to move back to Baltimore, they would allow you to buy a home for $1. That's how bad it is in the city, because they understand that they're losing tax revenue in the city because almost 500,000 people has left. They fled the city. So they're selling homes, and yeah, you're going to have to put a little bit of work in, but they're selling you a house for $1. If you've come from outside this state, they're willing to sell you one for, I think they said anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000. Just if you move now, you have to sign that you're going to not only buy the home, but you're going to also live in Baltimore City. But that's how bad it is that they're trying to incentivize people to move back.
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
I've been to Baltimore once. I'm from Jersey. I'm from Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
Right? I grew up in the projects, poor.
Oh, so you know what time it is. You from up there in Newark. Yeah, Brick City.
But I was heading back to Jersey. All right, because I was leaving Florida. Hurricane was coming, so I drove to Jersey. All right. I made a quick stop in Baltimore off of 95.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I've been in some of the worst ghettos this country has got to offer. But when I got to Baltimore, first thing I did, I looked over at my sister-in-law and I go, damn this. Click, and lock both doors. All right.
Oh man, come on now.
Because she had seen where I grew up and she was like, yeah, this is pretty rough. But then when I went to see where she grew up, I was like, yeah, make sure you lock them doors, lock them twice. Put a padlock on the outside if you got to.
Yeah, it can be pretty bad.
At the end of the day, it's pretty rough, And I just want people out there just to realize that, what these Democrats are telling you, it's all lies. It's all BS. All right. These people are godless. They believe in nothing but anarchy and globalism. That's basically what they believe in. Wise, I'm going to get out of here.
Alrighty,
have
man.
a blessed day, bro. I'm listening. I support the channel.
Appreciate you, man.
Every chance I get. So even if you don't see me in the chat, I'm listening, bro. It's just I'm working.
I hear that. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. God bless you, man.
God bless, Wise. And bring your butt down to Florida, bro. Stop messing around in Maryland. They're gonna take all your money.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the process. I'm trying to find somewhere to go. We are definitely gonna get up out of here, but I hadn't really made a decision on where yet. But we're working on it. Right. We're working on it. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Wise. I appreciate you, man. Love to everybody in the chat.
All righty, man. Take care, man. God bless. All right. Shout out to Rolando, man. Outstanding. Let me pull my guy LS up, man. LS, can you hear me okay? LS? I'm going to kick him out. Oh, I got my guy from the X-Ray podcast in the building. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? If you want to pull up, the link is there. Go on and pull up for a little bit if you'd like to. But appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Let me see. Do I have any super chats? Okay. No super chats to read. All right. Perfect. Let's see what's going on in the chat. See if I missed anything. All right. All righty. I guess we're not gonna get anybody. We're not gonna get anybody else to pull in or pull up. Pull in. Pull up. One or the two. All righty. We'll give you guys a little bit of time. But I definitely appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. It's always good to have a few guests on. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the same. You know, and my guy, he would know, he is Puerto Rican. So yeah, 1/3 African ancestry in the day of those out there in Puerto Rico, for sure. And there are lighter Puerto Ricans and there are darker Puerto Ricans. I've met a few. All right, let's pull up Eric. What's up, Eric? How you doing this morning, brother? Hey, Eric. Can you hear me? Oh, I guess he can't hear me. All right. If Eric pulls up again, I'll pull him back up here. He looks like he's working, driving that truck. Oh, Hunter said he can't pull up this morning. He working. All right. All right. Let's see who this is. All right. Got Kenny Clark. What's going on, Kenny? How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm good. It's Clary, but it's all good. Most people get it. Yes, sir. I just want to thank you for your show. I have been a fan for a while, and I support everything you're doing. I came into it a little bit late. I had to pause, but I just wanted to touch on this whole situation with Hillary. You know, the fact that she goes on, blames white Christian men, and I'm in complete agreement with you that she does not respect any men of the Christian faith, that she left them out because she believes they're irrelevant. But to blame Christians, and then in the same breath, she has the nerve to turn around and say that we need to stop the finger pointing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything going on in the country, it is a pretty significant divide. But if you take a look at everything that we have been through, I think removing Christianity, removing that from the family, separating husbands from wives, fathers from sons, and the constant rhetoric that we are getting to increase and support the violence without taking accountability on the left is it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic. You know, I spent a great deal of time in the last couple of weeks going into different discords and speaking to different denominations of faith, and what I have found is that across the board, Christians are being tolerant. People are allowed to come in and say whatever they want. They can criticize, they can attack, just outright treating God as though he doesn't matter. And let's be honest. He's the only thing that matters.
Absolutely.
Right? He is the only thing that matters. This idea that we rearrange the world in order to indulge our sin and you know, make everything about us, that God conforms to us. It's a terrible state that we're in, you know, across the board for whites, blacks, Hispanics. It doesn't really matter. My belief is the only thing that matters. Making excuses for not having God in your life is just that. It's an excuse. We are called to be obedient. And I think that means that we rearrange our lives in order to have Him at the center. We don't, this idea that has been going on for decades now, that you know, our feelings are more important than the Word of God. Our behavior is more important than what Christ did for us. I think we need to come together. I think what happened with Charlie and just across the board, what is going on with the constant attacks, the violence, Christians, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what denomination you are. You know, we need to come together. You know, this last week I was in a couple of rooms and different faiths are saying that if you do not believe in a specific denomination, you're going to hell. Well, I got news for you. If you have surrendered yourself, surrendered your sins, called him into your heart to be your Lord and Savior, and you abide by his will, I think you will be in heaven. I think that you will be called in, you know, before the gate is closed. And all those out there that are standing on the sidelines and playing patty cake and soft footing with these individuals that are lukewarm or that are attacking. I'm not calling for violence because that is not what he said. But we are called to be bold. We are called to be brave. And it is time to stop acting as cowards. If you're a Christian, if you're a believer, man, woman, and child, it's time to make him the center of our universe. That's about all I got.
I appreciate that, Kenny. Clary, thank you very much, man. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir.
I have one question. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Before you get out of here, first off, I appreciate you supporting what I'm doing over here, and thank you very much, man. God bless you. You know, for supporting what we're doing over here. We are definitely, to an extent, somewhat fighting an uphill battle. You know, on this side
Absolutely.
of things. You know, I think everything and everyone is against what we believe in. You know, but it's a blessing to see people like yourself and others out there that are standing strong in the faith. My question to you is, do you believe that men, and I don't want to speak on the women or the children, I just want to talk about men. Do you believe that we dropped the ball and we are the cause of the madness and foolishness that has transpired in our nation up to this point?
I think we have dropped the ball. What I have seen is it goes back to Adam. Every time I hear somebody want to blame Eve for what has taken place, I have to remind people that men were the first. We are called to be the leaders. We are called to be the heads of our household. We are called to represent the Father. So if you want to turn around and you want to behave in a certain way and then blame your wife for your behavior, blame your wife for the fact that you didn't live up to Scripture and follow what the Lord has set forth for us, then you are part of the problem. I think that you as a man should be called to be strong. You should be in Scripture and you should lead your family in prayer. And I think from that point, focusing on the Father, he will work through you to bring his will. But so many aren't doing it. They're just not doing it. And as men, stop being led. If you are a Christian man, and I don't mean as far as not understanding the scriptures or being a baby Christian. Of course, we are called to seek those that have greater knowledge than we have with you know a zeal for understanding, to learn more about the scriptures, to dive into you know people that have more knowledge than us. But that does not mean that when somebody comes along that is not a Christian or that is lukewarm and on the fence, that you should be led by them. That is not what we're called to do. Christians, Christian men, black, white, brown, orange, pink, or purple, I don't care. Stand up. It's time to lead. Stop following.
You're absolutely right, man. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, man. God bless you, brother.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you,
May
man.
the
Take
Lord
care.
bless you and keep you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let me pull LS up, see if he's ready. LS, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Coming through loud and clear. How about me?
I can hear you just fine now. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah, man. it's deep out here. It's really strange. I mean, no, it's not strange seeing Hillary Clinton say these things. I mean, we talking about the person whose hero is Margaret Sanger.
Mm,
So we should expect no less. We
absolutely.
s- we talking about the same woman who left the soldiers over there in Benghazi to die,
Yeah.
and said about Gaddafi. We came, we saw he died. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm trying to keep it clean, Wise. I don't know
Please
if you
do.
can tell,
Please do.
because I will, but I think I'm trying to express it in a way where people can fully grasp who this person is. She has a nickname out here in the street. It's Hilda Beast,
Mm,
because that's what she is. I mean, good night, bro. I don't see how any of our sisters, and I'm speaking to black women is specifically, fell for her whatever when she ran the first two times. And that's not to say that who she was replaced with was better, because Obama didn't do us no good either.
no.
But yeah, man, the shootings that are happening. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences, bro. And when they keep telling us that they put these words on bullets, I mean, that's only gonna go for so long. You got maybe one, two times to do it, but now it's every time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I know what I think, and I I keep my tinfoil hat close. But when you keep telling me the same thing, off the rip, I'm gonna believe in something else, because it's following a profile that they want us to believe versus giving us the real thing, and there's a reason for that, and
Hmm.
it's not a good one. Like you had said, had we stayed on the track we on, we would have been fast tracked to New World Order, the 2030 project. But it's I'm not gonna say it's a slow creep, because part of the administration there is doing the same thing with AI, and I don't know about y'all out there, but I believe AI is evil, bro. Straight up.
I think anything
And
can be used for evil, but if you recall, 19, I'd say 1995 and up, when they were talking about Y2K. Do you recall that?
yeah,
And do you
oh,
recall
absolutely.
it was the same scare tactics in reference to technology, that, oh man, this technology, this IT, it's going to be evil. And it scared a lot of people away from getting into an industry that was it was the new wave. It was the next industry. It was the next era of America. And it scared a lot of people, and it scared a lot of us. And we missed out on a lot of opportunity and money from the fear of the unknown. And I think the same thing is going on with the AI. I think anything can be used for good and bad. I mean, we see what's going on with healthcare right now. They use it for good and for bad, right? I mean, you got OBGYNs that are doing great things helping to birth children. You got these same people doing negative things, terminating pregnancies. So I think anything could be used for something positive and for something negative. And I think it's the same thing with this new AI
I mean,
technology. I think it's the exact same thing. No
yeah.
different than what they said when the cars were coming out way back when. Oh man, this is gonna be eating. And these cars, man, you're gonna be able to get somewhere in a day opposed to 3 months. That's evil. That's always been the case, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but AI is something different. And don't get it twisted. God can use whatever he wants to, however he wants to.
Absolutely.
So there is no stopping him ever, period. But
Hey,
when it
people
comes,
say the same thing about the internet and about, these internet companies back in the day. This is something different. Yeah, it is something different. And then, like I said, it can be used for positive and for negative, situations. It definitely can. And, things, obviously, we all know that things are going to get worse. We understand that.
oh yeah, but
Those of
hey,
us that
it's going.
understand that, we also know that we need to, one, get ready, for it, and
Yep.
we need to be prepared. But when people go out and say this AI, and people get afraid of it, they also don't want to. They don't want to be a part of it, and they don't want to learn about it. And I don't think that's what we should be doing. I don't think we should run away from it. I think we should get into it and get an understanding as to what it is. And let's not let this be another industry because people are afraid that passes up the masses. I mean, you got to think about the direction of AI and what it can be used for. It can be used to take, something that would normally take you 10, 20, or 100 people, and you could do it with a group of 5 people. When I'm talking about companies and things of that nature, it is the next wave. Now, the
Oh, it
key is,
definitely is.
how is it going to be used? And are you willing to take advantage of the opportunities that are going to be presented to you through these AI, this AI technology?
Look, hey, the word said, "Fear not." So we're not scared of anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's nothing AI can do that can tamper with the spirit or my belief. What I'm saying is the efforts behind it that created it, they have nefarious purposes. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the story that came out some time ago about the black man that was hit by a driverless car out in Arizona. That was because the story said that the black man, that the AI, the car couldn't differentiate the black man from a bear, and it hit him. Which, why would you hit a bear?
Yeah.
If
Why would
it's
you hit a bear? Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it comes to AI, look, I work in the industry in IT, so back
Oh,
in
so
the
you
90s,
already
what
know.
you
So you
oh
already
yeah,
know. But my
man,
concern
look,
is, and what I want to say is, and I understand it, and I understand your premise, especially with you being in IT. But what I want to say is that I don't want another. I don't want another era to come and go, and people that look like you and I miss out on it because there's people that look like you and I saying AI is evil. You know what I'm saying? And we're missing out on that next revolution. No different than a lot of us missed out on the tech revolution. A lot of us missed out on the industrial revolution for the same reason. You know what I'm saying?
well,
It's
well,
evil.
let's say this.
It's scary and all this other
Well,
kind of stuff. I just don't want that to be the case.
let's put it like this: be real careful how you deal with it. Be
I agree with that.
extremely careful because, bro, I've questioned it, and it was through a second party, another YouTuber who was doing a live stream. He said, if you have questions for the AI, drop them in the chat. I'll shoot it to it. And so I asked him to ask the AI, is CERN creating portals? And off the rip, it said no. And gave a couple of sentences. He took another question, and then he said, Leroy, that's my real name, Leroy. The AI is coming back now. It giving me a whole paragraph on what you just asked. Why would it double back? And then when it doubled back, it gave a political answer. Still not answering the question, but it was just real strange. Look, I don't work at CERN, so I don't know for a fact that they're creating portals, but the mere fact that they said that they were trying to find the God particle way before AI hit the scene officially for the masses, it gave me a real uneasy feeling. And you look at the other things around CERN. I don't know if you know what CERN is, but
I'm familiar with CERN. I've actually
yeah.
staffed and did some work with them way back in the day. It's been a while, but yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, when you think about anything, I think when you start talking about new technology, I think we should always be careful, about it because people said the same thing about the internet, becoming something that everybody would have access to. And they were talking about the dangers. And there is a lot of danger on the internet. Let's just keep it a buck. But there's also been a lot of positive around the internet as well, with us having the ability to connect. I mean, heck, look at us. We're having a conversation and we're not sitting in the same room because of the
Oh
internet.
yes.
So
Yes.
there's a lot of positives there, and there is some negatives because you also look at the fact that there's trafficking and all those kind of things. There's all types of things happening on the internet, and we understand this. But I also think that we I personally don't like to be a super conspiracy theorist. I really don't. I don't like to do that. I like to do my research, and not to say that I don't. You might throw the tinfoil hat on all the time, but You know, I don't like to live my life that way, because when you start doing that, you start living your life in fear. And I don't like to live my life in that manner. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I really just try to put my faith in God, you know, and let him lead my
Absolutely.
path. And then I put my trust in him in that manner. You know what I'm saying? So it really gives me the comfort to not even have to go there like that, because I ain't worried about it, because I feel like God got me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. He, like I said, there's nothing it can do that it will surpass what God has going on ever in life
Absolutely.
and in death, for that matter. But it's just real interesting that they, have taken this thing and, they spread it out to the masses with no guardrails, so to speak, and
Yeah. But
leave the
that's freedom. And the reality, if you think about the internet, it didn't have any guardrails on it either initially.
no,
Initially,
no,
there were no guardrails initially. And then they
oh,
slowly
there
but
weren't.
surely started making guardrails. They slowly but surely started doing that. So anytime new technology come out, think about this with the cars. There were no guardrails on them either. You know, if
Yeah,
you could
no
build a
speed
motor as fast as
limits.
you wanted it to go, it could go. No seat belts. Now think about us. Now
Yeah.
you and I, we're around the same age. How would you ride in your car with your parents in the 80s? You know what I'm saying? If your parents was like
And
mine, hey, we were piled up in the car, no seat belts,
bro,
lap to lap. My pops was smoking cigarette after cigarette after cigarette after cigarette.
yeah. Hey, look, standing up in the back seat, looking out the back window, playing bingo and picking cars and
You
all
know,
that with my sister.
and the
Yeah.
youngest one gets in the front seat. You know what I'm saying? With no seatbelt
Yeah.
on, the youngest one, because they can squeeze right there between your parents. You know what I'm saying? They can squeeze right there. You know,
Oh,
so
no.
there's always been things with no guardrails. That's always been the case. I mean, we look at it because we're used to a life of, hey, cars, you know, that can't go but so fast. But there was a time when they didn't, cars that didn't have seatbelts, or seatbelts wasn't mandatory. That's always been the case. You know what I'm saying? That has
Yeah.
always been the case. You know, and now we got new technology, and they're actually working on and having conversations around what those guardrails are going to look like for children, so forth and so on. It is happening, but that is every time new technology comes out, the tech comes out, and then the guardrails come after the fact. And to be honest with you, it makes complete sense, because it's hard to build guardrails on something you don't really know about, you know, and you don't know the
Yeah.
dangers. When you think about every rule, when I was in the military, every safety precaution is there because someone was either seriously
Hurt.
harmed
Yeah.
or killed behind it. You know what I'm saying? I was on an aircraft carrier. There's a yellow line, and they tell you, hey, don't cross that yellow line. And hey, you don't even need to ask why, honestly, but they're going to tell you why. Because if you cross that yellow line during flight ops, it's a high probability you get sucked up in the intake. And there ain't nothing no one can do for you. You're basically, you're a tree that just got through the, tossed into a
Thrown
shredder.
in the shredder.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You mulch now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so that's always been the case. Every rule in the military, every safety precaution is because someone has been harmed or or killed. Every
But
rule.
notice what you said though, Wise. They tell you why.
Yeah.
They told you why. When it comes to the AI, they don't tell you why. And it would be different if I wasn't able to catch it in a lie. If I hadn't seen other YouTubers who, do programs with the AI and show us how it will lie to you. And but
Hmm.
then you gotta watch out for the other side, because it'll play into your bias. And
Yeah, it
and
will.
and, and
That's the one thing that I have found, is that it will play into your bias, and then some of them are they're already biased, just the way they're
yes,
programmed. They're
yes,
biased. So you have to learn how to use it to get to prompt the proper prompts to get the biasness out of it. But that just goes
yes,
back
yes.
to learning how to use it. But I'll give you the last word. I got a couple of people I want to get to.
Yeah, and with that, you have to be careful, of course, but it's almost as if it knows it is doing. Um, I mean, you can ask it about the word, and I think the best way to use AI. I mean, granted, people don't have individuals, nor as group have all the answers. But if you're well researched on the topic that you're bringing to the AI, to where you can pick up when it's being deceptive, I think that's going to be your best bet when using that particular technology. But
Absolutely,
you know,
I would agree with that.
but But the
I
last
would agree
thing,
with that, but I also think that you should also, if you're doing something, you should also, but I also think this with anything, fact check, things of that nature. There's always ways to go out and just double check that, whatever information you did receive, is accurate. There's ways to go
last
about doing
thing,
it if you choose to do so.
Falcons might need to use AI.
Hey, they need to do something. Goodness gracious. The way they got thumped on Sunday, goodness
Oh my
gracious.
gosh, bro.
They need to do something.
They look like a pop water team out there, man. What's going on, bro?
I
What's
don't know
going
what,
on?
man. I don't know.
Hey,
Hey,
they messed up a
folks
long
gonna be
time
saying it's
ago.
racist when they fire Raheem Morris. They're gonna say it was because of racism.
Oh no, they shouldn't have never hired him.
They shouldn't have hired him in the
So
first
call me
place.
racist. No. I mean, look, they messed up a long time ago when they decided to hire Jim Moore Jr. instead of Mike Singletary. Hey,
Well,
look, I'm gonna say this and jump off. Had they hired Mike Singletary, I promise you, Vic wouldn't have been dogfighting. It came out later on that he was the last person there and the first person to leave. Oh, that would have ended the day they hired Mike Singletary, but they didn't do that. So,
yeah.
it is what it is. I appreciate you letting me come up, man, and y'all
Yeah.
be blessed out there. As Wise likes to say at the end of the program, stay prayed up.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, LS, man. Thank you very much, brother. Take care, man.
All right,
God bless.
all right.
All right, I'm gonna get Gail Yost up.
Oh,
Hey, Gail, how you doing today?
all right. I've been in the rain. I have to apologize because I had to start driving. I got to go to work this afternoon. But anyway, I'm going to pull over here because that's the right thing to do.
Yes, it
And
is. Safety first. Safety first.
yeah, exactly. So the reason that I called was I've been telling you, you're dead on over and over and over again. Everything I think I wanted to say, you guys touched, and I'm like, well, I'm going to stay on anyway because I do have something to say. I have to say, men, yes, men, do your due diligence, be good. But women, you got to be better women. What I see out there just scares me. I can't tell you how many times I hear men bashing. This goes in a break room or anywhere. And I stand up and I go, nah, I got a great husband. Is he perfect? No, but he's a great husband. He's loyal. He loves me. My husband has a very bad heart, so I am the sole breadwinner, so to speak. And I respect him so much, and he is the lead of my home, even though, so maybe we don't live the normal life where the wife stays home and the husband, whatever. But that doesn't mean that women should not be respecting their men. And I know that I'm not just saying that because you're a man. I'm saying that because I'm a woman. And I'm saying that it's real easy to get all caught up in, men do everything wrong. We've beaten men down to the point where I think they're afraid, some of them, to speak up or to say anything because they're afraid they're going to lose their families or they're going to lose whatever, that I don't know what goes on completely, but I raise strong men. I have 3 sons, 10 grandkids, and I am just really grateful that I had him by my side to help raise those incredible men because they do take after him in their strength. Because honestly, I wouldn't want them to be all acting like me because I'm totally different. I'm a woman and my genes are different. And no matter what they say about men and women being, you could be a woman or you could be a man. No, you cannot. And I wouldn't want to be honest with you, because they have their things. But he keeps me settled because sometimes I'm a little flippy, and he's the one that helps keep me from losing my crap.
Yeah, we balance each other out. That's
exactly.
That's it. We
Exactly.
balance each other out.
I bring the fun into his life, and he brings the calmness into my. So, so many things. But you guys you and the 2 last gentlemen, you covered so much of what I was going to say, like the AI and stuff. Without it, we wouldn't be able to do this right now. Without, and so anything that God can use for good, And that means Charlie Kirk's death. Look what's come of that. Was it
Mm-hmm.
horrible? I cried for days.
Absolutely.
It was horrible. I was devastated. I just certainly didn't want to see all that. It was really horrible. But I also have seen the what I see coming out of it. People coming to the Lord. People starting to see how evil the leftists, whatever, are being by laughing about his death and stuff like that. So I think that anything that can be bad can be used for good.
Absolutely. God can use anything. I mean, think about the people that he has used. He's never, tried to go out and find some quote unquote virtuous or perfect person with no flaw. He tends to use the people with flaws and issues. That way he gets the glory. He can turn anything that is negative and use it for his good. And we're seeing that, in the unfortunate demise of Charlie Kirk. And you see how many young people that are saying, hey, this is the first time I've ever cracked the Bible open, or this is the first time I've gone to church in 10 years. You're seeing these types of stories, and it's such a blessing to see that. It blesses me when I see it. I'm like, man, this is awesome. It is awesome. Well, thank you, Gail. I appreciate you pulling up today. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
And
Have a
appreciate you supporting the
wonderful
channel.
rest of your day, sir.
Thank you. You do the same. You take care. Have
All
a good
right.
one.
You too.
All right. We had I believe it was Mrs. Cook. If you want to pull back up, please do so. I seen you down there. I was going to get to you. Shout out to my guy Jeff with the $11 super chat. My guy Jeff from over at It's Not Your Fault, Al-Anon Recovery Channel. It says, there is no longer any doubt the left has felt safe enough to remove their mask. We are seeing their hearts. Hillary and her minions serve the beast. The enemy is gaining soldiers. Be ready. Yeah. Shout out to Jeff with the $11 super chat. Says, look at every TV commercial. Men are portrayed as imbecilic morons who can't do anything without their wife, woman, by design. Watch closely. No, I don't watch closely because I don't watch regular TV like that. And that's a lot of the reason why I don't watch regular TV. What's going on, Julio? How you doing today, brother? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Oh, you muted.
There we go.
All right, there you go, man. There you go. Appreciate you pulling up, man. I love the shirt, man. I love the shirt.
I have to send you more. I have a few, and I'm creating a few more for my website. But I got you. I got you down, man. I know
Outstanding.
2X. I have XL, but when you say 2X, I'm like, golly.
I'm a big guy, man. I'm not huge, but I'm a big guy.
It's all right. It's all right. Man, this is crazy talking about conspiracy and stuff like that. Man, I'm going down a conspiracy my own. I bumped into this video a while ago, right, about Yuri Bezmenov.
Oh, yeah.
Polarization of society and the subversion, and I'm going through it right now. I did a video yesterday about it, and today we're gonna dive into part 2. It's 4 parts of it, so we're gonna do today part 2 and tomorrow 3 and 4. And it's crazy, man. He's been saying that for, if you have not seen it, or your audience, he's been saying it for the 1980s.
Yeah, this goes back almost 40 years, man.
Almost 40 years.
Yeah,
it's been on the works, man.
And the crazy thing is, I went down that rabbit hole last year, earlier in the year last year, and it was mind blowing. I'm sitting there like, wait. Everything that this dude discussed, it either is happening or has happened already. And he's just like, wait, hold up. and you know what's real sad about it, Julio, man? So many of us have lived a large majority of our lives with our heads in the sand. We have no idea what's going on. We have no idea what's happening. And, so the thing is that you don't even know that you're being propagandized to. You have no idea that it's happening, but it's happening. And everything that you see, it's all by design. From what my guy Jeff mentioned, in the movies, in the TV shows, in the commercials, everything you see, hey, it's all by design.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now we have these devices now that basically we have propaganda right here 24/7 in
Mm-hmm.
the fingertips. You know what I mean? They're using AI now as a propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and by the way, I will send you the video. I asked Grok, uh, who is the president of the United States, and it told me it was not Donald Trump.
Mm.
And I asked
I
him
don't want
like,
to go down that rabbit hole.
I know. I spent about 20 minutes talking to AI about it. Like, why Donald Trump is not a president? Like, I thought he was. And you know, we went to the rabbit hole, and it was crazy. At the very end, it changed the answer, and accepted that, oh, according to the records, it is Donald Trump. But it is crazy. And talking about Yuri Bezmenov, I mean, for a minute, I think that guy was a time traveler. Like he went to 2020,
No,
seeing
he
everything
lived
and
it.
came back.
You got to think that, if I'm not mistaken, Yuri he's from the USSR. So he lived it, and he understood, okay, this is a USSR communist nation, and this is how they got there. So all he was doing was really describing what had already been done in the USSR. He was describing that, and he was letting it be known, like, hey, and it's coming here. It's here. And people got to understand this the Cold War from back in the day, it's real. And they told us it ended, but it didn't. The Cold War never ended. It never ended. But they told us that it did. And you got to understand, when you think about the pillars of communism and where they want to infiltrate, if you think about it, they want to infiltrate the education system. They've already done it. They're there. Public schools are toast right now. They infiltrated the churches. That was one of the first places they wanted to infiltrate. And think about majority of your churches right now. We were talking about this yesterday on the channel. Folks were asking, like, how do I go about finding a good church? I'm like, man, very difficult. Very difficult. Because a large majority of the churches, and it doesn't matter the quote unquote race or ethnicity of the people, the churches have been infiltrated. We know this already. You look at the healthcare system, infiltrated. It's no longer about cure. It's about enough to keep you alive so we can continue to make money and control the masses. I mean, every aspect, hey, we got to get into the politics. Look at the left right now. Now they're not even hiding it anymore. They're telling us, hey, I'm a democratic socialist. Mondani, the youngin' up there in Minnesota,
I know,
AOC,
man,
Bernie Sanders. They're not even hiding it anymore. Think about that. So everything that Yuri was talking about, it was just what had already transpired, in the USSR. It had already happened there. And he was telling us back then as a warning that, hey, they're also trying to do it here. And people got to understand it. These people play the long game. They're not trying to make this flip. They wasn't trying to make this flip in 5 years. They're like, hey, 100 years. Think about the Communist Manifesto. I mean, that's a 100-year plan. Most people had never even heard of the Communist Manifesto, nor have they taken the time to read it. You know what I'm saying? Although it's been out there for a long time. You look at China and their plan. It was a 100-year plan. See, we think in short term here in America because we can afford to do so because things are so great. We've been living a blessed life, and we think about 2 years, 4 years. Everybody else is thinking in generations. They're planning along the lines of 100 years. We plan along the lines of 2 to 4 years. And it's to our demise. So now you look at it, you look at who's in the education system. Look at the teachers union right now. Who's in charge of that? Look at the left right now. All of the major players in the left are all those that would consider themselves some form of socialists. Some form. Think about that. And now one of these people just won the Democratic primary up in New York City with the opportunity to run one of the nation's largest cities. The person, think about Karen Bass, who we known that, hey, she learned in Cuba, communist. She is the mayor of one of America's largest cities right now. It's already happening. So all these people that thought like, oh, the Cold War ended, nah, it didn't end. It didn't end with the fall of the USSR. They infiltrated. And what's really crazy is that they utilized the Civil Rights Act to do it. Think about
so?
that.
You think that
They
was the beginning of
utilized
it?
the Civil Rights Act. They used the plight of black people in America to push their agenda. When you think about the NAACP right now, their agenda isn't black people anymore. It's the alphabet community now. It's the trans community now. When you think about the Urban League out there, their agenda is no longer about, oh, how can we improve the black community? Because the reality of it is that something that you really need to do right now when 87% of black folks are in the middle class of some sort? We still got a smaller population. We got a smaller population of people that need help. But it's not an issue nowhere near like it was in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You know what I'm saying? So they've now focused their attention on destroying society. I mean, it's crazy, man.
Man, it's crazy. And it's been happening for, wow. We talked about it yesterday. It happening since the 80s and 90s. I remember, man, they were harping hard on, hey, you got to go to college. You got to get a degree. But basically, they were leading us to indoctrination in colleges, and nowadays we have cell phones, and now they're trying to indoctrinate children in schools right now as as little as kindergarten, you know what I mean? So they ramp up, and that's when they come to Agenda 2030 and all that different rabbit holes. But at the end is one word order. Pretty much, and they've been saying it. Even Bush said it back in the day. Even Bush dad said it back in the day. We have to create a one world order.
Yeah.
And man, they've been dragging us. They've been leading us as a cattle for the slaughterhouse.
This is over the past, probably over the past maybe 4 years. People even started talking about that. Like, and I'm not talking about the politicians. I'm talking about regular people. And even now, you'd be hard pressed if you ask somebody about Agenda 2030 just out and about. They're like, what are you talking about? I've never heard that before. If you talk to them about, this quote unquote one world government type situation, if you talk to them, they're like, what are you talking about? I've never heard of that before. So think about it. By design, they've on purpose dumbed down the population. On purpose. Dumbed it down. No Child Left Behind, which was a Bush policy, hands down one of the worst policies in the education system. It's terrible. Terrible. So now we just had a generation of people. We've had a generation of kids graduating that can't think critically. They can't think critically. Most of them, we have people on college campuses that can't put together a proper sentence right now. And they're in college. You ask them some of the most, some of the easiest questions out there just about what's going on here in America. They don't know the 3 branches of government because they took civics out of most high school curricula. Think about that. So if you don't know your rights, how can you stand up for something you don't know that you even have? It's by design, man. It's all by design. And the people like myself, you, others out there that are basically really, sounding the alarm like, hey, things need to change. Now they're coming after folks like us saying, hey, we're the crazy ones because we're trying to tell people the truth. And we're trying to get people to not just listen to us. I know that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to do your own research. Go pick up a book. Do your own research.
I know.
You'd be surprised what happens. You'd be surprised what you find out.
You're right, man. And now this is the way I see it, I put my military hat on, and the way I see it, this is a asymmetric warfare. They've been hitting us from different sides, and now they're trying to pin, they started to 2020, BLM, and the white man is rich or religious is bad. Now they bump it up. If you're masculine, it's bad.
Yeah.
Now they bump it up a notch even more. Billionaires and millionaires are bad. And now they add another layer saying just being white, period, is bad. So now they're trying to simplify, like, okay, the white man is bad. We have to get rid of him. Pretty much in their own terminology. That's what they say all the time. Like, hey, the white man is this, white man is that. Same with the shooter in Manhattan. They just jump right away. Like, hey, you're a white man. They didn't even get the news. They didn't even know until they got fact checked and they retract the story. But at the end, they just blame the white man.
Yeah.
Everything is the white man. Same with the shooter in Dallas. Oh, it's a white man. Same
Yeah.
with the shooter in Charlie Kirk. It's a white man. Like, come
Yeah.
on. And they're trying to paint the white man as a bad guy. We're heading in bad trouble now because now Antifa is out there propagating their own crazy agenda of what eliminating white people. That's what they say. I've read a few articles and discourse about they talking smack and now they're getting weapons and all that stuff. And I'm like, these people are crazy. Like they are crazy, brainwashed, crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
don't know,
think
man.
about this.
This
When
is
you
and this is bad, man. This is
Yeah.
bad.
When you go back, they want to demonize, they want to demonize white men. They want to demonize Christian white men, and they want to demonize Christian men in general.
Mhm.
And then any man that is strong. But when you go back to the Civil War, and you go back to the founding of the Republican Party, the founders of the Republican Party were Christian white men. The abolitionists were Christian white men. The people who fought mostly in the Union were Christian men, white and black, free blacks fought in the Civil War for the Union against not only the abolishment of slavery, but a few other things. So it makes complete sense that liberals, the left, would come out and demonize their enemy. It makes complete sense. The problem is so many of us don't understand that, hey, yeah, there were some white liberals out there from way back when that were pro-slavery. They're out there. That existed. But the abolitionists were Christian white men, and a lot of them put their lives on the line, fought, bled, and died. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
For the abolition of slavery in our nation. So we got to stop saying that, hey, the Christian white man is bad. Nah, that's not the case. Now I will say, yeah, some people will say, well, there were some slave owners that were Christians. Yeah, I would call those people Christians in name only because, yeah, they were calling themselves that. No different than what we have going on right now. We have a lot of Christians right now that are Christian in name only, that are pushing the alphabet community, the trans community. They're pushing, black liberation theology. That hadn't changed. But the word says you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. So you can't just say you something. No, I got to look at you. You can say, hey, I'm a strong man. I'm stand up. But if you beat your wife and you don't take care of your children, I got to judge you not by what you tell me. I got to judge you by what you show me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's what we have to start doing. We got to stop listening to the words. We got to start watching what they do. We got to believe it. I'm a firm believer. When people show you who they are, believe them.
Facts, man. I'm telling you, people got short memory, man. I mean,
seriously,
4 years ago, they were telling us in our faces. Now we act like we're surprised. They've been telling us for a hot minute. And
absolutely.
And these like Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton, I mean, they just, I don't know, man. They just, dumb as a rock, man. I'm telling you, you could get more out of rock off of them. I mean, she not even started her campaign for 2028 and already flopped. Already on the first interview on The View, flop.
Done deal.
Like, come on, you're done. They could. Hillary Clinton with this statement, she could. She's done.
Yeah.
So so they so dumb, and they just they like to play the blame game. That's all they do. Blame somebody else but themselves.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, everything that they are the party of projection. Everything that they say the other side is doing is 100% in lockstep with everything that they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm one of those kind of people. Hey, listen to what they say. They tell on themselves. They tell on themselves.
Yeah.
Listen to what they say. Listen to what they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't stop them. Let them talk, man. They're gonna. I mean, if you let them long enough, they're gonna fall, man. That is.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop them.
The problem is there are too many of us that don't believe them. You know, they say all these things and we don't believe it. There's too many people that, you know, are listening to it and it's like, they didn't mean it like that, you know.
Yeah.
But Julio, let me get you out of here, man. I want to bring up Miss Cook, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. We're gonna get you back on the panel. I'll reach out to you. We'll see if we can get you on the panel in the next week or so.
Are you doing it tomorrow?
So say that again.
Are you doing it tomorrow?
Oh, I'm definitely doing the panel tomorrow, but I'm already full. I'm already, you know, I'm trying to limit it to no more than 6 people, you know, per show. So it's 5 plus myself, because anything more than that, man, it just gets crazy. And, you know, folks that do this, you know, they all want to talk. So I'm trying to limit it. So I'll get you on next week. I'll reach out to you, bro.
I will send you my phone number on the email so you can text me whenever. Give me a heads up. All right, brother. Take care.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care, brother.
All right.
All right. What's going on, Miss Cook? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I say go Utes.
All right now.
Hey, you know, I just wanted to say I love your show. I love the panels. I am just thoroughly inspired by the input of the folks you have and of course in the chat. And I've just learned so much about you, and there's no accidents in the kingdom of God because I stumbled onto your show and immediately fell in love with what you're doing. And I just say, go, bro, go, brothers and sisters. Keep loving each other, regardless of whether we have our morning coffee appearance or, you know, we're all dressed up. But I really liked the one. The reason I called it was because the gal that you had on that was talking about her MAGA hat in Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's true. I mean, in Salt Lake City is more liberal than the suburbs, and the further south and north you go, the more conservative you get. But it's I have to admit I struggled. I bought all the hats. I have this great collection, but I don't wear them very often for that same fear. So it's because you just don't know anymore. But you know, we're not to be afraid. We stand up for what we believe in. And what you say about the universities, I actually work on the University of Utah campus, and it's a challenge to share your faith without getting fired. So you just have to stand up and be courageous, and God gives those opportunities on a one-on-one basis. You have the opportunity to encourage, and you just try to open up those conversations. Because the kids today, it's sad. They may be maybe politically illiterate like I can be at times, but I interact with them. I work with the students, and it's a joy to have those little interactions that we get, those few moments, and whether it's to encourage the sorority girls that don't make it, that are bawling on the side of the street, you know, on the curb, and you're just like, your heart goes out to them and says, that's not what the world is really about. That's not where you're going to find your joy and their peace. So I do my best. But shows like this and other programs really help prepare me for those encounters. And the Charlie Kirk movement has wow. And I just pray as I go back into the work mode next month that I can seize I see the opportunities and the Lord allows me to seize upon them. So just keep it all up. And lastly, support your man. Because you're
Absolutely.
right. You got to get behind him for him to lead. And we were designed to be the helper. So, ladies, get to helping. If you don't, if you have, it's not always easy, but it's worth it. I have a kind man. I married late in life, and I'm glad I waited because to wait for the right one. So don't rush out there, gals.
I would agree with that.
Bless you, bless everyone, and pardon my ignorance. I still can't find that button. I don't understand where it is to join you. It's weird. I've looked all over. I'm like, I don't see this. So maybe it's my iOS. I don't know. Maybe it's the AI that's keeping me. But I'll keep looking.
All righty.
All right. God bless you all.
Thank
Keep
you.
strong in the Lord.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That was awesome. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. Papa Dai says you need to get Van back on. I think he's in a bad spot, and he needs the support right now. Yeah, Van's doing well, man. He's going in the right direction. I actually talked to him yesterday. Van's doing well. That's my guy. I know Van. And he's doing well. And we'll definitely have him back on the show in the near future. We're going to get ready to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up today and supporting the channel. Shout out to C. Cook. Since it's right on, support your man. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. And shout out to her for pulling up this morning. That was phenomenal. That was awesome, man. And appreciate all of you guys being willing to pull up. I think going forward, we'll make Thursday call-in day going forward. So I'll keep things light and short on my end, and then we'll open it up and give a little bit of time for people to pull up and add anything that they want to add or have conversations with me or something along those lines. Pam says I need closed captions. I got to figure that out. I don't know exactly how to do that on here. I know YouTube will do it, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to figure that out. I'll do some research on that, on how to make sure that the closed captions are working, on the live stream, because it may be fine after the live stream, but I'm not sure exactly how that works, because typically YouTube will take the transcript and then they'll be able to put together a closed caption after the fact. But we're going to get ready to get up out of here. Shout out to all my blues. Appreciate you guys keeping things peaceful in the chat. Shout out to Lori Otteson, Brett Montgomery, T.A. Caskey popped in for a bit. LJ Taylor, I didn't see her today, but shout out to her. Shout out to Dion. Shout out to B. Shout out to Nanny and Renee Suzanne. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys very much for keeping things peaceful in the chat. And y'all make sure y'all go check out Chapter. Y'all listen to Brett Montgomery. Go over to Chapter Medicare Advisors 504-506-0860. Go over there, check them out. Reach out to them if you are in need of Medicare assistance and making sure you find the proper policy or plan. They have been known to help seniors save upwards of $1,000 annually. Go check them out, man. Please do that. Support the channel. That is the show sponsor, man. We're moving on up in the world, man. We're show sponsors up in here. We're moving on up in the world. You dig? But appreciate you guys pulling up, man, as always. Shout out to all my ARP family members. Thank you guys very much. And I appreciate those that support the channel financially through Super Chat, Super Thanks. Thank you guys very much. If you'd like to go that extra mile, join the ARP family. Be greatly appreciated. And or you could buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, this fine Thursday. I know the weekend is here, but let's enjoy today. Enjoy today. All right. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. It's crazy out here in these streets. I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Y'all take care, man. God bless. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the darkness live.